Good morning, guys. This is Beauty Bubble for Beauty Bubble Now. Before the bell, yes, even though we should hear it in just a moment. Waiting, waiting. I'm going to start off with Twitter. Twitter did something really very funny last night. They called it, How Has Twitter Changed Your Life? Hashtag, How Has Twitter Changed Your Life? So as soon as the bell rings, I'll go ahead and showcase the chart for you guys as to how Twitter has changed people's lives, you know? So there's the open ticker right there. I'm going to bring it out to the 15-minute. You can see the nice classic gap. It's really holding on to not closing that gap valiantly, actually. And we'll go to the 30-minute. But the big one, of course, was when we really take it out further. And what I did was I built the hashtag on the 1 week. So this is the 1 week. Remember, it's Friday. At 3 o'clock, we jettison out of all of our positions. And imagine if you had to make the decision today on Twitter. But that was what the chart that I put out. And I thought it might be interesting to go ahead and show you all of the charts on a week so that you can have an idea of where we sit, you know, where the decision was made to climb in. And then talk a little bit about what we're going to do for next week. I'll get my earbuds in. You guys. And we'll also do a little bit of work on Twitter this morning. And then I'm going to showcase the I think they may have to actually change the name of their company. Ticker tags, yes. So we're going to showcase ticker tags and go through, just look at a very cursorial view of ticker tags and look at their mention on September 27th. The social mentions of Nike were down. They did a tremendous Medium article. So make sure that you look at my retweet of the ticker tags Nike piece because they got you inside of their platform with the little picture here that you see. And I thought, well, we go live inside of ticker tags and give them a little bit of attention this afternoon. Once again, it's another tool. It's pretty interesting, and we will take a look at it. So we have Twitter up 0.39. Go back over here to Trading View and check out the news section. And then let me get my headbuds on so that we can go over to Cheddar. They should be live this morning. There they are. Confetti applies for Nutanix. We'd heard a lot about this, actually, about their, I believe that this is their IPO. Now, we won't get a chart on this until Monday. Might get some numbers on over at CNBC. All right, so that's the Vine from the NASDAQ. And let me see if we can get into the Cheddar. Here we go. Ford, Accenture, Gotenna, Acorns, etc. Ride sharing Waze riders now live. So we might be able to just preview it a little bit right here. If I can keep the window open, and we won't listen to the audio, but this is Cheddar. You want to follow definitely this. You can see the avatar, and then their site name is in our description bar over at the main channel page, and all these links, most of the links and the ideas, whether they're Medium articles or blog posts, books even, are all over in the discussion area of the main channel. And we'll check and make sure that things are operating properly over at YouTube. And it's now 6 minutes after the open. And so the Hangout's working well. Check on Twitter now, up 0.52%. And let's head over to YouTube. This might also help some people trying to get on YouTube Live so that you can see what the YouTube looks like. So there we are right there. We'll go here and we immediately put it on mute. It's not in an auto mute. And we'll go down here. I'm going to hide this piece here. Go down here, and that's where we are. You can see the infinity. I'll put a little welcome message here. And that's also, I don't know if it makes any difference to YouTube, except for that they know that I'm live, as in you're seeing live action, that this is not a recorded event. And the one watching, that would be us, by the way, because it does register that we're watching. And you'll notice too down below, here's our description, right? So all of this is the same, title's the same. The only difference that I could make right now is that I could go into the control room area. And I believe here I can do, I can't do monetization there. Go back to the event manager. I can edit from here, I believe. Ah, there it is. There it was. Edit from right here and monetize. And come down here. I'm going to go ahead and take out these labels while I can. Those labels there. Save the changes. Monetization is right there. Turn it on. Take sponsored cards off and save the changes. And now the page will be monetized. I won't have to worry even after it goes into archive. Won't have to worry, did I monetize, didn't I monetize? Go back over to Twitter. Twitter up 0.43. We'll see how our other tickers are mounting for the morning. Salesforce urges the European Union to examine LinkedIn Microsoft acquisition. Oh boy. Okay, so let's go through our tickers. WSM. Remember, we'll look at it on the weekly. This is where we got in. Right here. So I just want everyone to see that we're not playing the micro. Actually, it looks as though we were playing in a pretty controversial counter trend, actually. Remember, it's only 1 week we're playing in the weekly. Maybe what I should do is maybe not the weekly. We'll just go in the daily, maybe. That would help. So you can see that the time in which we were in the trade was in a counter trend. Okay. So against the trend. The trend here is, and you can see it will go back to the daily, monthly I mean. For example, the trend on the month is down and paused, down and paused. So any amount of energy that we got to the upside for the whole week, this is where everyone would be looking at, is this the end or is this a pause so that it can come back down and come into some real bottoms. But you'll notice here on the left that there was some price congestion here waiting for the pause. So it's not like it was a terrible time to be trading inside of Williams-Sonoma whatsoever. It's just that we were counter to the trend and now up 0.48% is Williams-Sonoma. Do the same thing on IAC. You guys can see. It's again on the monthly bar. Now, IAC is a little different because it came off of its bottom. All this activity is really kind of off of its bottom, but clearly we're counter trending the most recent months. So you can see the activity down, but some people would take it from the bottom here and they would say, no, you're trending up, but clearly you can even see just the whole activity of the trade. The trade has been counter to this downward push. And you can Fibonacci this activity too. So we could go here just for, we'll drill down into IAC. Because IAC we picked up on a very, once again, intuitive, not, don't misunderstand, intuitive for gut feeling. Intuitive is not a gut feeling. Intuitive is where you've taken enough of IA, taken enough of, you've looked, taken enough IP, you've taken enough things in, you've read enough things, the name keeps coming up. There's certain people are speaking of it positively. It looks like maybe something might be happening. Remember, public companies, they do not have to tell us anything except for every quarter or when they report. Other than that, they don't really have to generate any news, any press releases. They really don't have to tell us anything. But when they do, they reveal to us certain things about the company. And so IAC was a perfect example of why did we get in. But you can see that it's counter trend, and of course we move in further, which is why you try and use as many tools as you can. Doesn't mean that you're trading off of them, but you are trying to figure out, well, what's going on, right, with that. So basically we got in, this is the daily, we got in the absolute most opportune time to be inside of the trade based on the Fibonacci. So even though it's a counter trade, we got in over the W apex here, all the price held above there, and we were able to take advantage. And maybe next week we'll take more advantage, especially when we're getting percentages that improve the basket, and then we can just jettison out of the trade. So you can see this is a lovely W pattern, not a deep right shoulder, but good enough. Nice apex, and of course the trajection to the high. So I think we did pretty well with inner IAC would be a very good example of how we go through basket selection, I think. If people are wondering, well, where do you get these names? Well, they come from everywhere. And we're talking everywhere. Every squawk, every news, every website, and maybe when we go over to the ticker, the little ticker company that's developing intuitive on social trends. So it scours and goes through as many of the social platforms that it can, and it trawls that information, scrapes that information, and then puts it in to a search engine, and then you can see, oh, well, has this affected that ticker? Did that affect this ticker? How did that particular activity, like the train accident yesterday, how did that affect, and who did it affect as far as companies are concerned, public companies? Okay, so let's take a quick look at ELF. This is on the daily. We won't have a lot on ELF, so we'll go to the 15-minute bar. And ELF again, 2.31 on the day. And I don't know where my verticals are going, so that's bothering me a little bit. It's a very strong open on ELF. Go to match, MTCH. Match now, filling in Ruby, actually, the Ruby long. And as we know, right, that we were getting in the trade where this sort of activity was always a threat because we were truly at the end of its run. So our thinking today, of course, because we had a couple of really great profit opportunities to take profit on match, we will go ahead and just be patient with the trade so we can learn. So match might be like a focus for us come the mid-market, and it's 9:46, and we have 4 more minutes until the market reversal. So keep an eye on match. We did IAC. Did we do Whole Foods? Whole Foods, WFM. See here, we did. Whole Foods up 0.11%. And look at the candle, the 15-minute bar. So there's some sort of volatility there. Let's take a look, see what happened. Go into the 3-minute. What does it say? Here's what 12 estimates analysts believe WFM will report quarter 4 reporting. So they're getting ready to report. That's not until November, though. So what's that all about? Costco caters to the same demographic as Whole Foods in certain areas. We had seen that trend before in other parts of the country. So that's Whole Foods. We'll keep an eye on that. So there's plenty of news and activity happening today. We'll head back over to our Twitter. So they're in a Q&A with, I don't know, I'm assuming that it's an executive for Ford. And they're talking about fully autonomous vehicle for ride sharing by 2021. Looks like must be an engineer, or let's see if we can get his name. Not yet. He's got a very nice broadcasting setup, though, for his field. It's pretty good. So you want to watch Cheddar on Periscope. You could watch it inside of Twitter if you wanted to. We just had to power up the volume. And they've got a decent crawler. The connection is really good. They have 62 people that are watching them live over on Periscope. 74 people watching them live on Periscope. So we want to make sure that that audience grows for them, and definitely grows after they go to Stocktoberfest, because Howard does get a lot of press, and he'll be going through his sponsors and his participation. He's very good at all of that. So remember, this will be made available. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and put you guys on mute. Put the Hangout on mute. And I'll grab the Periscope link.